get into the more grounded nitty gritty, I guess. So these are just some basic statistics of, that represent the people around us, right? The communities we're in, and what we see on a daily basis in the form of a number, right? So 57% of Americans failed to pass the S&P Global Financial Literacy Survey on basic financial concepts. 14% have investments other than a basic savings account. So that means the majority of people don't have any investments. 86% would need to borrow funds or take out a loan in the event of a health emergency. For example, a global pandemic. Put some sevens in the chat if you know somebody who had to take out a loan since Corona dropped its first and second album. Sevens in the chat if you know anybody who had to take out a loan or open up a
Not their first
card.
album.
Yeah, just like drop, album drop. Yeah, people are out of work. People are getting fired. Whole stores, whole chains are closing down. There's a whole sweep happening, a whole cleaning and clearing happening. And a lot of our community members are not prepared. And this isn't the first pandemic. It's not going to be the last situation like this. So it's really great that we're all in this business together and that you're on this call so we can plan accordingly. All right. So this is what we call the X curve. Okay. So on the left side here, this is pretty much where we're at right now, right? Our money's low, but it's going to grow. Okay. It's going up. Our debt responsibility may be high right now because maybe you have a home and you have a mortgage, you have your car note that you're paying off, and you may have children in the house, right? So you have a lot of things that you're responsible for financially right now. But over time, the expectation is that's going to go down because you're going to pay off that house. The kids are going to, do their own thing. They're not going to be dependent on you financially, and you're going to pay off that car, right? So debt responsibility will likely start high. We're starting our businesses, so we're investing in ourselves, but eventually everything's going to get paid off and it'll go down. Now our money, as those of us who are starting and those of you who have been entrepreneurs, you still might be in this area, but the expectation is that the money is going to go up, particularly as we continue to gain experience in wisdom and trading and network marketing. So we're moving from left to right. Now, as our money goes up and we're planning for how much money we need to retire, we need to consider these 4 things. Inflation. Inflation is the annual increase of costs. It's related to that, but it's based on the overprinting of money, right? The imbalance of the worth of our money because it keeps, our government just keeps printing and printing and printing, so the value goes down. Yeah, we're preparing for inflation. We have to account for inflation. That'll be about 2 to 3% a year, I think. I have to check on that. The next one is risk. So, for example, like a natural disaster or a global pandemic. You never know what's going to happen, particularly, if you live in particular areas of the country, you might be more susceptible to certain natural disasters, to certain issues in the environment. And so we have to acknowledge that and prepare for that financially. If one of us, if you say you're in a partnership and one of you gets into a car accident, right? Will the other one be able to take care of everything? Is there enough money saved? Is there a protection plan in place for that to happen? The next one, taxes. In a healthy economy, tax goes up at about 3%, 2.5 to 3% a year. Our tax is about 2% right now. And that goes up every year. So taxes are actually going to be lower than they will be in a year. They're going to be lower than they will be in 5 years. So it's important to pay, if you're paying tax on something, you want to pay now so you don't have to pay later. Pay now so you don't have to pay later. And I will talk more about that. And then health. So anything can happen with our health. You know, if you have certain health issues in your lineage, in your family, like hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, you want to protect yourself. You want to consider that may be a possibility for you. And of course, take preventative measures through, you know, diet, exercise, mindset, all of that. And you want to prepare. You want to be practical and clear with how you're thinking about that. So again, I will talk about that more. So these are the 4 things that you want to consider. So a lot of us to plan for retirement, what you can do is you can look at the elders before you, look at the ancestors before you, and notice when they transitioned, when they died. What age did they die? Yeah, it's going to be different because the diet may be different, but notice what age they died, and that can give you an idea of when you may transition. Okay, then take the time to decide when you want to retire, meaning when you don't want to have to worry about working, making money at all ever again. If you are making money, you're trading on your phone, you're doing it for fun, right? It's not a necessity. And then you calculate, say you want to retire at 65 and you expect to transition at 95, you're going to calculate how much money you need for those 30 years based on your monthly fixed expenses. Okay, so that's going to be your mortgage if you haven't paid it off. Property tax will always, you know, will be there. Health insurance. Let's see, if you haven't paid off your car note, your car, food, all those are fixed expenses. You're going to be paying those probably for the rest of your time. So you want to protect yourself. If you die too soon, that just means if you're in a partnership and you die before you expect, that partner is going to be taken care of because you have the necessary protection in place. The next one is protect yourself if you live too long. What if you planned your retirement based on a transition at 95, but you live to 105, right? So you need to consider that and plan accordingly as well.